Hello, Ruben is Mareta here as your host for today's talk show. As we know, with the development of technologies nowadays, the more society changes, lots of which bring change in the field of information and communications. The internet greatly affects the social system in society, easily influencing children and especially teens. The way people socialize is different from the way teenagers socialize in today's day. This can be called youth modernizations. So how should these modernizations work? Today I bring you three people who are able to discuss this matter with me. Please welcome our guests.
Hello, my name is Alexander Bryan from 12 Science 1, number 2.
Hello, my name is Benedicta Mareta. I am from 12 Science 1, number 6.
Hello, I'm Princessia Sharon from 12 Science 1, number 23.
Now, let's share the opinion of our guests. So, what do you think about modernization, guys?
Modernization? Hmm. The word modernization itself means the process of changing society or a specific culture in all its aspects from traditional to a more modern one. So, modernization is a social change that has been directed or allowed in society because it is based on a plan.
Speaking of change, like you said, it changed from a traditional to a more modern society. Things like this that are closely connected with change surely has its effects, yes. Thus, what are the effects?
To tell the truth, modernization both positively and negatively impact the younger generation. If we look at the positive impacts, we can look at it from different kinds of fields. For instance, with the rapid development in technology in this era, our younger generation can easily use and understand the necessary tools, unlike back then where it is much more difficult to gain information. Example, students can finish their assignments faster than before with the use of a laptop that can be carried anywhere, unlike back then when they'd have to use the typewriter machines.
Yes, I agree with Alex. Demodernization is impact for everyone, especially the younger generation, in positive and negative way. Um, Most of you must be thinking or questioning why the younger generation most affected by modernization itself. For the example, in the field of education, we, as the younger generation, will think more critically and rationally due to our growing curiosity and motivation to create something new caused by modernization itself.
Of course, there are negative impacts that come along with it. From what was said before, the younger generation grows to think rationally and critically because of our growing curiosity due to modernization. However, this can lead to receiving false information. Since there are no barriers when accessing information on the internet, it can lead to drugs, pornography, and the sorts. Information with unclear origins can also enter the younger generation. This kind of information can dangerously influence them.
While we cannot set boundaries in modernization, overall, it is beneficial. Change because it generally applies to pretty much anything. It drives the younger generation to try improving their skills so that they can have a role in developing society. Modern concept do not necessarily mean robots and flying cars, but more to society change. Therefore, modernization is tightly connected with principles and upholds change, advance in science and technology, rationally and forward thinking.
There are big social media platforms nowadays, right? Like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and many more. And speaking of TikTok, there's a particular figure who went viral in 2018 with his power, Alpen Libre. Many people, especially teenage girls, idolize him, so much so he held a meet and greet event with tickets priced at 100,000 rupiah. From here, fanatic fans emerged creating a cult where they worship Bowo as their god. There's even an account where the admin tries to recruit people in said cult with Kak Bowo as their god. Besides Bowo, there are Indonesian fans that worship BTS, a K-pop group that's currently trending. They also idolize them, to the point where they plan to make a cult with BTS as their god. This also makes people uncomfortable, thinking that BTS is the cause of this madness, even though Bowo and BTS have nothing to do with it. Bowo was blocked from TikTok, and BTS was slandered by the general public. What are your thoughts on this?
Speaking of idolizing, mm, I believe there's nothing wrong with idolizing or admiring things like that, especially when they are successful people or motivation person or something like that. Their hard work could be a good example for their friends. But in this case, their friends not just only idolizing them, but they are more like fanatic, and this is not normal to do.
Fanaticism itself is a belief or view that is held so strongly that it is difficult to change. This can be seen from the cases stated, where many BTS fan accounts who happen to be members of the cult incite others to join their cult by spamming them with K-pop related content. The fans themselves also feel that they are doing good. They believe that this BTS group is flawless and above others. Anyone that says anything negative towards BTS will be slandered by the fans. Not only that, they also force their beliefs on almost anyone that they must become an army, which is the fandom.
Well, if it has gone this far, then it violates human rights. These fans are so crazy with their beliefs and does not respect other people's opinions, creating unnecessary conflict. First, on freedom of religion, the country ensures the people that they are free to embrace their respective religion, but these so-called armies are forcing everyone they see to join their cult.
In Article 28A, Paragraph 2 of the 1945 State Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia also states that everyone has the right to freedom of belief. In addition, Article 28I, Paragraph 1 of the 1945 Constitution also recognizes that the right to religion is a human right. Furthermore, Article 29, Paragraph 2 of the 1945 Constitution also states that the state guarantees the independence of every citizen to embrace their religion.
Besides violating the freedom of beliefs, these fans are also violating the freedom of speech because often when someone critiques these fans, they attack them and commit hate speech. It is even said that they would mock other idol groups along with their fans, while other group idol fans mostly keep their opinion to themselves. This can be classified as violating freedom of speech. Number 39 from 1999 on human rights states, everyone is free to have, state, and share their opinions according to their conscience, orally and or in writing through printed or electronic media with due regard for religious values, morality, order, public interests, and the country's integrity. These fans, however, express their opinions without paying attention to the values listed, which leads to human rights violation.
Besides, that like Benedicta said, they commit hate speech. This is done in spam account in Article 45, paragraph 3, UU 19 2016 states any person who deliberately disturbs, transmits, makes accessibility electronic information and or electronic documents which contain defamation without consent. In this case, BTS fans often insult and look down on others who do not idolize BTS like they do.
So, in this case, there seem to be obstacles in law enforcement from the perspective of law and the community itself. As you see earlier, uh, these fans made a cult where BTS is their god, but it is unregulated by the law, and this is why it's classified as a cult instead of a religion. The PUB bill, also known as the Draft Law on the Protection of Religious People, did not validate it because a cult can never become a religion. Harassing people who are not in the fandom violates Law Number 11 from 2008 UUITE, Chapter 7, Article 33, which states anyone who deliberately breaks the law and commits any action that disrupts the function of electronic system without consent. What do you think about this?
Yes, that's true. There are a weakness in law enforcement itself. There's no clear constitution on creating a new religion with no concrete background. The question is, however, is why would they create a cult that worship other humans? And from society's perspective, it can be said that they are oblivious to the law. This this is counts as an obstacle in law enforcement and justifying human rights itself.
In conclusion, youth modernization must be balanced with change in the law to fit today's era. Society must also realize that human rights and law are already stated in the constitution that the country ensures the protection of religious people, the government, citizens, and everything that makes a country should participate in enforcing said law.
People of high quality are needed. Here, a person must be educated enough to keep an eye out for youth marginalization. If not, then things like this will continue to happen and chaos will ensue.
With that, we have reached the end of today's talk show. My how time flies. Thank you for those of you who have watched until the end. Or apologize if any of our words disturb you. We hope there are many things that you have learned. I'm Ruben and Winarta, signing out.